What's up? It's Mr. Boomer here yet again, and in my last Unscripted, I did say this message saying that I didn't really like Superman very much. Now, I only went through it very briefly, but in this Unscripted, I feel like you should all need to know about my full opinion on Superman. And to be honest, I don't really hate Superman at all. I don't think he's a bad superhero. I just never really got into the character as such. Because, you know, okay, the willpower and stuff, that I can get behind. Because, you know, he is super strong, like so strong he could actually destroy a planet. Yeah, I can get behind that. As he's in a planet, which is Earth, obviously, and that's kind of a sensitive planet to him compared to Krypton. So I can get him struggling with willpower, but with the likes of Darkseid and Brainiac, the ones that are far stronger than him in pretty much every way, I think he should have just pretty much obliterated them. As in, he should have punched them all the way into the sun and then just burned them. That's what I think Superman should have done to them types of villains. But with the likes of Lex Luthor, understandable. Because as much stuff as Lex Luthor has done, he's only really a crime lord if anything. And he's not like this supernatural creature or some creature from outer space or anything like that, or some robot. And he's not even close to being as strong as Superman, unless he has like a suit or he has a kryptonite, but that's not the point. Physically, Lex Luthor is inferior to Superman, but that's not the reason why Lex Luthor is that good. But to be clear, some of his villains are actually quite cool, like Brainiac and Darkseid. They're very interesting characters, and they are very powerful and intelligent, and that's the reason why we all like them characters. But as for Lex Luthor, I'm not really into Lex Luthor as such. I don't think he's a bad villain, I'm just like, nah. But the thing about Superman though, as in the character Superman, as a kid, when I watched Justice League, when I was very little, I always only cared about Batman, Flash, and Martian Manhunter. Maybe Wonder Woman as well sometimes, but Superman, I never really cared of as such in the Justice League. I always wanted to like the character, but I never really did. I mean, I watched Superman Returns and I didn't really like it, and that didn't get anywhere of me actually becoming a Superman fan. And as for watching the first 2 Superman films, yes, I did not watch 3 or 4 as of now, or to this day, and that didn't get anywhere. I think they're good films in general, but I'm just not really a fan of the character. Never was. And I always wanted to try, but I never could. But there's a thing. Yeah, I mentioned about the willpower and stuff that he has to go through, but he has pretty much every power in the world. Well, not really, but you know, every useful power. And yeah, he could tear off super villains in less than a minute. And yet they make him so weak compared to the actual super villains like Darkseid and Brainiac, not Lex Luthor and like them. And yeah, he gets battered easily. And okay, don't get me wrong, I do not hate Superman. I'm not a Superman hater. I just never really got interested as the character. I mean, I'm not really a DC fan in general, but the only DC heroes I like are Batman, Flash, Martian Manhunter, maybe Wonder Woman, and probably Green Lantern, but that's it. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't my least favourite superhero in the Justice League show, cause to be honest, I never really liked Hawkgirl at all. But the thing is, I just never really liked the character one bit. But I never really hated him. I never really went to the point of like, oh, why do everyone like him so much? Superman's gay. No, I do not think he's gay or anything. So, bottom line, the full analysis of Superman in my eyes, Superman is just a character I cannot really go and like, really. I mean, I always wanted to like him, but I just don't really like him. But I can understand why people like him so much. He's a very iconic hero. He's one of the most iconic characters of all time in comic book history, and possibly even the media itself. So yeah, Superman I do not think is overrated one bit. I can understand why people like him. I just never really found him interested at all. But his rogue gallery is okay, not as good as, let's say, Spider-Man's or Batman's, but hey, his rogue gallery is actually quite good. I mean, you have Brainiac, you have Darkseid, you have Doomsday. They're pretty cool villains. Lex Luthor's okay. And I didn't really... But other than that, I don't really like Superman... the Superman series in general and all the characters. Like I said, the Rogue Gallery is good. And I didn't really like the supporting cast. In other words, Lois Lane. She's just a damsel in distress, as we all know it, and they constantly make fun of it over and over and over again. Okay, enough of the Superman rant. And my next video, I do not know. I did say it's going to be a Marvel related top 10, but probably the top 10 Marvel heroes, or maybe top 10 Marvel villains, I'm not sure. So yeah, and the reason why I'm not really talking about video games as such, mainly the 2012 games, is because there's not very much games to actually talk about. Like there's Halo 4, Hitman 5, Assassin's Creed 3, you have got them good games, but oh, and Fall of Cybertron, that game's actually pretty good. But there's not very much games of 2012 in particular that are actually standing out brilliantly. I mean, I'm looking forward to Halo 4 because I want to know what they'll do with it. I mean, I know they'll probably do a lot with multiplayer, but it's the story that makes me interested, as in, where will it go next? So yeah, Halo 4 is the only one I'm actually quite hyped for. And it's not worth talking about the top 10 2012 games at all. But in my eyes, this year is the year of movies, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, Marvel related top 10 will be next. I'm not sure if it's the next project. I'll think of something and I'll probably do another Unscripted to let you know. Yada yada yada, I best be off. This is Mr. Boomer here and I'm going now. So, ta-da! And yes, this is probably the first time I've ever said that catchphrase without the supposed Scouser accent.